imagination, or is Glenn looking more and more like Tom Hanks?
I don't know about looking like Tom Hanks. I don't remember Tom Hanks ever, playing in a metal band. But I don't know, does this sound like Tom Hanks? There's no crying in baseball! Morning, everybody. Just checking my calendar here. It should be Sunday, August the 25th. And I should be in the Netherlands and possibly heading to Sweden to go hang out with Ulf Blomberg from the Hoberek channel for a couple of days. It should be an awful lot of fun. Anyway, I should be in continental Europe. That's the case anyway for the next couple of days, and then it's back home on Thursday, and then we'll see where it goes from there. Anyway, this is my weekly roundup of comments and questions, and I also do pop culture references. I find a lot of you guys are kind of fans of the same things I am, so I'm going to make a couple recommendations here. So the movie or TV show of the week would be Good Omens on Amazon Prime. I remember reading the book back in the day. It was great. The TV show is fantastic. It's got like David Tennant and Michael Sheen, both absolutely phenomenal actors. Definitely recommend that one. Great story, hilarious mythology. And for books, I would recommend the comic book series Before Watchmen. Kind of goes and does kind of a deep dive into the back story about a lot of the characters in the Watchmen graphic novel. Fantastic stuff, especially the Ozymandias one. That was really great as well. All right, that's my recommendations for this week. Let's get to your comments and questions right now.
Dude, Keith Marrow did a YouTube video replacing pickups for Seymour Duncan, using the same guitar, and all difference was massive. So what's up with that?
That's a great question. Everybody saw that video. That video got like millions of views and shit like that. Here's the thing. I'm going to preface this with this. If you're looking for YouTube drawn up, that's not going to happen. Keith Marrow is a guitar player. Is a guitar player that I respect. I've met him several times at NAMM. Really good dude. Just a generally awesome guy. So I'm not going to throw him under the bus if that's what you're looking for. It's just not going to happen because I don't do YouTube drama like that. That would be a complete dick move, and we all know I've never been a dick on this show. I don't want to do that kind of video when it comes to this. I want to get the facts straight. So this is what I'm going to say. Keith did his test and got certain results. I did my test and got very different results. The only thing I can tell you about is how I did my test. I did it with a cream tea guitar with hot swappable pickups where I was able to do the pickups on the fly in the moment with no changes being made to the amp, the speaker, mic position, or anything else. Nothing else got changed except for the guitar pickup. And to my knowledge, it takes a lot longer to change out Seymour Duncan pickups because there's a whole soldering job that goes on there. So I can speculate, but I'm not going to because I don't know what was going on in Keith's situation. All I know is doing it with those pickups probably took an awful lot of work. So what I will say is this though. The only thing I can do is try doing Keith's test here on the show at some point. It's something I've been wanting to do for a while. A few of my buddies are like, dude, you better not do that. That could cause some, I'm not looking to cause drama. I just want to know the truth. I want to see if I do the same test, am I going to get the same results? So that's what I'm going to do. And with all due respect to Keith, I thought it was a cool video and I'd like to double check it and see what I get here. So stay tuned for that one. It should be pretty damn interesting. That's for sure. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so you get notified when that one comes out. It will be happening sometime this fall. You're definitely not going to want to miss that one. One thing I can guarantee, though, is that I'm never, ever going to be able to play guitar as good as Keith. That's for sure.
Hey, Glenn was potentially looking at getting a new set of studio monitors. Currently, I have a set of Atom Audio T7Vs, but was contemplating upgrading to the T8Vs of the Cali Audio LP8s. Right now, I mix and record on a 10x12 room, which is pretty high ceilings, and didn't know if going to a set of 8s would be overkill or I should just stick with the 7s. Thanks for any help.
Well, thanks for letting me know what room you have, but you didn't answer the one fundamental question I asked anybody who considers upgrading to studio monitors. What does your room treatment look like? And if you just answered what room treatment, yeah, that's probably where you should start, either by building your own traps or buying some pre-made ones. Don't get the foam shit, get the stuff made with rigid fiberglass like rail traps or something like that, and get some actual traps in your room before you decide to upgrade your studio monitors. Do the thing that's actually going to make the biggest difference, and that's not upgrade your speakers. Upgrade your room. Great thing is, if you're handy, you can do it for dirt cheap with some fucking stuff you can find at Home Depot.
Hey Glenn, can you do a new video of some very nice guitars for $500 or less within that ballpark? Very nice features and such like Solar Guitars and other good guitar brands. Thank you.
Yes, actually I can. I've been looking at some Jacksons and Ibanez's for under $500. I think that might be a whole new series here on the show. Great guitars for under $500. I think that's something that needs to happen. Thanks so much for the suggestion. I'm going to make it happen.
I'm a third world or a bedroom player looking for a modder. The quad Cortex would be ideal for me, but $1,400 is hard to justify, especially because I'll have to add importing fees plus a commission for the resale. Do you think a Headrush or a Line 6 Helix would be good enough? I play mostly thrash, but I really want to get into the funk guitar as well.
Dude, I don't even think you have to go that far. The Pod Go is basically a mini Helix, and it's going to do pretty much everything you need. Look for a used one, man. because you'll wind up you're saving yourself a small fortune. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the Pod Go. You guys know me. I've given Line 6 a pretty hard time over the years, but that was an absolute gem of a product. Get that, especially if you're looking to save money. And speaking of stuff under $500, that's what I need, another series I need to do, because, I did a viewer's comments there a few weeks back, and I mentioned something about cheaper versions of quad cortexes, and that just blew the fuck up. So there's obviously a huge demand for price to performance with that sort of thing. So I think that's going to be a new series coming up this fall as well. I need you to hit that button to make this sort of thing happen. I want to grow this channel, and I want to help you the best I can. All I'm asking is you press the button, because it doesn't cost anything to do.
It seems like you're promoting element base way more than ELE. No snark, sincerely question, why? I would have figured that base VST would be a tertiary product, but the evidence indicates my intuitions that are dead wrong. If it isn't too much inside baseball, you're willing to share that info, I'd be interested to hear how they're comparing. If this is too private, however, I totally understand. I'd say before I say it again, ELE has been a godsend, a cornerstone for realizing my dreams. Thanks and cheers.
Oh, dude, well, I'm really happy to hear that it's working out so well for you. The reason I push element bass so much is because it's my favorite bass plugin, because I use real drums most of the time. I understand that's not an option for a lot of people who have to use programmed drums. We did the best we could with ELE. I'd definitely recommend checking it out. You can definitely get some pretty damn good results with it, that's for sure. It's just I wound up using element bass on pretty much every single mix you hear on the show, and I've been using it for the last couple of years, and it just gives you that crushing bottom end that just complements your guitar sound so very well. In fact, check this out. All right, real quick, today I'm proud to show you the ultimate bass amp sim, Element Bass. You've been hearing it on my show in mix after mix for well over a year now, and so many of you have asked, what's up with that bass tone? How do I get it? And the answer is one simple plugin, Element Bass. We've designed this from the ground up to get you an awesome tone right out of the box. There's no more wondering why the bass doesn't work in a mix. Element Bass has everything you need to get a mix-ready, crushing bottom end with zero guesswork. Discover ultimate flexibility with up to 3 parallel tone stacks, each with their own separate EQ, plus our one-of-a-kind stereo enhancer, compression, and an impulse response loader. You can craft your tone in ways that were never possible before. From pounding metal to blues to country and even jazz, every great mix needs an element. Get your copy today at spectredigital.com. Links in the description below. Now let's get back to the show. So yeah, grab Element Bass, grab ELE, either one, you can't go wrong. And we've got some very exciting stuff coming up on Spectre Digital this fall as well. Make sure you stay tuned for that. All right, now this is the part of the show where I'd normally go to the butthurt of the week, but everybody's being pretty cool, so no butthurt, just a couple more questions and comments because, hey, why the hell not?
Who is this nice Glenn, and what have you done with Old Yeller?
Hey, fuck you, Dave!
What mic did you use to create this tone? It sounds amazing.
You're speaking about the red solar guitar that I should have given away by the time this episode airs. This was going through a Bad Cat Lynx 50, through a Mojitone BB30H, and a Lewitt 640 Rex. That is my absolute favorite guitar mic right now. I gotta thank John Brown and Max Cochet for coming up with the idea of that. The 640 Rex is actually a dual element kick mic. It's got a large diaphragm dynamic and it's got a medium diaphragm condenser. And they're perfectly in phase. The idea was to capture, this wonderful top end and bottom end on a kick drum because you'd use different elements for different things. Well, it turns out to be absolutely fucking incredible on guitar cabs. Like everyone says SM57, SM57. No, throw your fucking SM57 out the door. Get a 640 Rex. Oh my God. It just makes life so much easier because everything's perfectly in phase. Just throw the mic up, throw the faders up. It sounds good. That's all you gotta do. 640 Rex, can't recommend it enough. You've been hearing it on the show so much lately, and yeah, that's what I tell everyone. Just get a 640 Rex and save yourself some grief.
Hey Glenn, long time no speak, my fellow Sheridan alum. Just wondering, have you been opinion on the Donner Hush X kit? My teenage daughter started playing guitar at school and showed some aptitude worthy of promoting her interest. I don't want to break the bank, and the system sounds pretty cool and affordable. Any thoughts? Thanks, dude. Love your videos, Monty.
Monty, how the hell you been, dude? Man, it's been like fucking endless. Yeah, Monty was a film student that I attended Sheridan Media Arts with. Monty had a great sense of humor, loved industrial music. Like, if this is the right Monty, I only knew one Monty at Sheridan, so I'm hoping it's you, Monty. But yeah, he was was into industrial music and bands, you know, like Ministry and that kind of shit, and was famous for wearing 2 different colored Converse shoes, like one blue and one tan. And then when he wore those out, he wore the exact opposite, you know, that kind of thing. I think they even retired a set of his shoes in the rafters of the equipment room in the media arts department. Yeah, Monty was a real character. Dude, congratulations on having a daughter. I haven't tried the Donner kit, but I haven't heard anything bad about it. What I am going to be looking at is, I can't reach it right now. It's in the other room and I got lights in the fucking room. I'm going to be looking at the Thomann Millennium kit. I've got that kind of in packaging right now, and I've got like 2 weeks before I got to leave for Europe. So I might actually get that video shot before I leave. So keep your eyes peeled for that one. That goes for like about $1,000 US, and it's got the mesh heads and stuff. So it might be really, really badass. I'm really curious to hear what kind of a sound sample pack it ships with. I'm also really curious to see how it's going to work out with Extinction Level of it. Stay tuned for that one. Hopefully that video is out by the time this one goes live. Should be interesting regardless. Stay tuned. Thanks so much for writing in, Monty. It's great to hear from you, dude.
Where do you buy the DB25 adapter for your console to RG45?
Yeah, oh wow, I was just looking. I've only got like 3 left. Really? I went through them that fast? Shit. I gotta order more of these already. Damn, okay. You get these at Catherine North Electronics. They're from Hamilton, Ontario. Okay, so the whole deal here is Ward Beck Systems, the guys who made like all these Canadian broadcast consoles and stuff like that. Like if you ever watched CBC's Hockey Night in Canada, yeah, that's the sound of a Ward Beck console. I had one for the longest time. Ward Beck went out of business, but before they did, they created this whole quad twisted pair thing. And that is where you use Cat5 network cable, like this stuff here, as snake cable, because it's got great noise rejection, because everything is twisted at different ratios. It's got amazing noise rejection. So you can do that, and then you use these. This is DB25 to Cat5. And what this does, it gives you 2 cables, so 4 and 4 for each DB25. That's the thing, when you're using DB25s, usually you're stuck with 8s. So this gives you more options for routing, and it's what I've got in my studio here to get from the console to my racks, and then out to the mics and everything. If you use shielded Cat5, it'll carry phantom power, so you can run microphones. And for line level, it's absolutely great. But yeah, the big thing is when Ward Beck went out of business, nobody was making these for a while. There's another guy in London who's making them. They're okay, but I find they don't hold the connection quite as good. The Catherine North stuff is absolutely fucking rock solid. I can't say enough good things about them. Go check them out. They're awesome people. They're audio engineers. They've got a great studio in the north end of Hamilton. It's an old converted church. I got to visit there last winter. It was really fucking cool. Hopefully I might get to do some content there at some point. But yeah, I can't recommend these enough. If you want to get these, check them out. They're fucking awesome and will save you so much money over buying standard DB25 cable, because Cat5 cable is cheap.
Could you use the Element bass plug to fix the bass tone on some of your favorite albums, especially albums that need some justice done to the mix?
I see what you did there. Yes, I would love to get my hands on those tracks and run Element bass on it. Yeah, it'd be wonderful. I know there was a video out there called Justice for Bass. I don't know where he got the tracks from. I'd love to run Element bass for that. I'm sure we could do some pretty cool shit with that. That's a great thing about Element bass. We've even got a preset called Fix My Bass, and it's designed for terrible sounding bass DIs, and it works really well.
How many guitar and bass players do you think feel their amp tone sucks and they just don't understand chord length, tons of pedals, impedance, and buffers have a ton of effect on the brightness or lack thereof in their sound? Just discovered this phenomenon out when researching pedal switchers, loopers to isolate a noisy fuzz I have that definitely have compensated for by putting an EQ in my amp's effect loop rather than shorten my chords. I've been playing for a long time.
Yeah, you know, this is the thing. I've always made sure to keep things simple in here. I don't have a giant pedal board. I mean, like when I used to play live, I mean, like maybe a wah and a delay. That'd be it for my pedals. That's all I need, because nobody in the audience gave a shit. You got to remember to let the tools fit the job that you're trying to do. You know, if you're playing for an arena full of 20,000 people, that's one thing. But if you're playing for your local bar where, you know, it's basically practice with a bar because nobody showed up other than your family members, you probably don't need a gigantic pedal board. Something to consider anyway. And that's less things to break down. So always keep that in mind. And yes, there could be certain elements in your signal chain eating your tone. I think that's a great point bringing up there, Kieran. Thanks so much for writing in.
Hey Glenn, are you actually getting paid for not reviewing Neural Amp Modeler? Just joking. Thank you for your dedication. Keep up the good work.
It's on my to-do list. It's been on my to-do list for so fucking long. Again, given the performance of the Quad Cortex video I did there on viewers' comments, that video just blew up. Obviously, there's a huge demand for something like this. So I am going to be taking a look at Neural Amp Modeler and some other free options as well for those guys out there who might not have a lot of money to spend. Let's see what we can get without spending anything at all. Stay tuned for that.
The Boss Katana heads are by far the best budget amp right now. In my opinion, I've had the head and matching cap for years, and I apply drop tune, and I love it.
Oh, that's super cool, David. Glad it's working out for you. I reviewed the katana when it first came out. Should probably get my hands on another one at some point and try doing a long-term review and see what's changed and just how good it works for the modern recording situation. Might definitely be worth checking out as well. Thanks for the suggestion, because I'm sure they've had a few firmware upgrades since the initial release. I'm curious, how many of you guys out there are working with the katanas, and what do you think of them now in 2024? Leave a comment below. Let me know.
Now, hey there, what's wrong with Wham?
They make me never want to dance again. All right. That's it for this week. Thanks so much for writing in, everybody. It's always great to hear from you. You got comments, you got questions. I want to answer you. So if there's something you want to learn, leave a comment below. I'll try and look for it. And if I think it's cool, I'll be more than happy to put it on the show because I love questions. I love your suggestions. Anyway, I should be back in Canada next week, and I'm looking forward to that. Got a lot of stuff to do this fall, that should be sure. Should be making some appearances at AES in New York City this year. I'm going to be doing some stuff with Lewitt. I do believe, at least that's the plan anyway. Whether it actually happens or not remains to be seen. But should be cool regardless. Anyway, hope to see you there. In the meantime, have an amazing weekend. Enjoy what's left of your summer. Stay safe, stay healthy, and whatever you do, don't give up on your recording dreams. Keep at it. You will get better. All right, that's it for this episode. Now, fuck off.